I wanted to speak to you today a little bit about moving on up the relationship ladder. And I did a blog some months ago about this issue because I think it's an important one that we all need to bear in mind when we are engaging in various relationships with people in the dating field. And particularly when we've been in relationships that have been rather dysfunctional in the past. And I'll explain a little bit what I mean by that in a moment. Firstly, I want to explain what I mean by moving up the relationship ladder rather than moving down. By moving up, I mean that when we engage in a new relationship, that we are conscious of the fact that we need to be improving in our relationships rather than going backwards as far as their effect in our lives and also as far as our own behaviour in those relationships are concerned. So when I speak about moving up the relationship ladder, I'm talking about having a high caliber relationship and engaging in very sophisticated and high caliber relationship behaviours, which also include, of course, safe relationship behaviours as far as our intimate relationships are concerned, and also as far as our relationships as a whole are concerned. Because one dysfunctional relationship in one area of our life can affect the other areas of our lives also. And this is often something that people do not bear in mind, but is an important part of safe relationship training that we need to be aware of. And so when I mention moving up the relationship ladder, I'm speaking about us improving the types of relationships that we're having as far as their fulfillment is concerned, but also as far as their beneficial effects in our lives are concerned, because we want to be increasing and improving our relationship behaviours and the types of relationships that we're attracting, rather than going down the relationship ladder and engaging in relationship behaviours that are detrimental to our lives and that are attracting negative situations and behaviours to us. And often people are not aware of this difference in their lives, and they're not consciously aware that the types of situations and relationships that are being set up, often with our agreements, can have a detrimental effect on future relationships that we attract. And therefore some people may continue to engage in the same relationship behaviours year after year after year, and then wonder why they're still attracting the same types of relationships and situations in their lives on a continuous basis. And so when we look at it logically, and when we understand that our own behaviour is reinforcing that behaviour in our own lives, but is also contributing to the types of situations and relationships that we are attracting. And so when we move from one relationship to another, it's useful to be conscious of whether we're moving up the relationship ladder or whether through our own choices and through our own behaviour, we are in fact moving down the relationship ladder. And when we choose to move down the relationship ladder, and we choose to accept situations and relationships that are not beneficial to us, we will then find that as we come in line with those lower relationships, our behaviour also has to come in line with them also, and that will affect the types of situations that we are attracting into our lives in future, which is often the reason why people come out of one dysfunctional relationship and find themselves in another dysfunctional relationship, which is often even worse than the one before. So I hope that's of help to someone out there in understanding why it's important to move up the relationship ladder rather than down. I hope that's of help, and as always, stay safe and happy.